What is up, guys? Zan for Forward Progress Madden, and today we talk about the pistol tight slots. No, you've never seen this play before or this formation before in the game because I helped create it. I say that kind of with some arrogance, but no, I really did help create this formation. I was down at EA Tiburon last spring, and I went up to one of the developers and I was like, "Hey, Anthony, you know what would be awesome? Would be this pistol tight slots." And Lights Out from Madden Daily was also there, and he and I were just kind of like thinking like what formations would be sick to like create. And we were just thinking like, well, gun snugs was good, and then they put under center snugs in the game and it was great. What about a pistol version of it? So we went up to him together and we were just like, hey, this would be sick. And he was like, yeah, I'll create it. He's like, and he said at the same time, like, hey, like if you ever have ideas on formations and you see something in the NFL, like you can provide tape on it, like let me know. Because we can take a look at possibly getting that added to the game. So what I'm telling you guys, the viewers of this video, is if there's something you would like in the game, hit me up on my Twitter at Zan_4PM. And while I'm doing the plugs, make sure you guys are following me on my Twitch account where I stream live on twitch.tv/forwardprogressmadden. Provide me video footage of the formation or the play that you like, so that way I can try to forward it on as an EA Sports game changer to the developers and see if that could be something that could be added to your favorite team's playbook. It'd be pretty sick to be able to, have that personal touch on the game. And this is my first ever time I've had a personal touch on the game in terms of adding things. In the past, I've gotten things removed from the game because of the effectiveness. Like when I first started my channel, the 425 was one of the best defenses in the game. It got removed from the game. But this is the first ever formation that I've had added to the game. And we're going to look at a little mini scheme out of this today. So hopefully you guys are interested in these new generic playbooks. Because they could be real good. So let's talk about the pistol tight slots. This formation is unreal. Now it has your PA post shot, which is going to be your one play touchdown type of play, your deep bombing play. It's got bench switch and bench. It's got mesh. It's got a draw, which is the best run in the game right now. It's the top running concept in the game, and it's got a counter as well as an inside zone. The counter is where we're going to start off. We're going to run this against random play. So yes, it'll probably get stopped a time or two. But what you're going to notice is that this counter is actually pretty good because of the compression. Not too many compression sets have counters. And as you guys remember, early in the year, Clint Oldenburg toned down the effectiveness of the counter runs because the guy on the side of the run, the guy that should have been playing force, was thinking that the run was going to the other side and he was playing the cutback. So he got pulled inside on the play and didn't end up playing his assignment, and you were able to get outside at will. Well, as a result, defense was better against the counter, but because of this type of formation, this compressed tight slots look, you actually get blocks by the running or by the wide receivers on the guys on the outside, and there's a huge hit by Cam Chancellor. Don't worry so much about the fumbling and all that. We're just trying to show you this against a variety of looks and show you that this can be a great run, regardless of whether or not they have the outside or the inside stacked. The only real way to stop this is what you're seeing right there, is if your opponent were to blitz the outside linebacker behind a defensive end shaded outside of the tackle. So we'll show you right here. We look, there's a end outside of Tyron Smith, and then they blitz the outside linebacker, and Witten's unable to get there and target the linebacker, and they're able to get a hit on the running back in the backfield. So even though that happens, this play is still, even on that example, they had the box stacked against the counter, and we were still able to rip that off, partially because the wide receivers do a good job at blocking the outside linebacker or defensive end on this play. So notice there how little Cole Beasley holds up KJ Wright and allows us to get outside. So this counter week is actually one of the best pistol runs in the game. But you want to make sure you're running it out of the pistol tight slots. This, counters from every pistol aren't going to be as effective as this particular counter. So now we'll go back and we'll show you the draw. We've talked about the draw and the effectiveness of the draw. I apologize if you're hearing beeps in the background. while I'm recording this. The draw is great against cover 4. So we're going to go ahead and call cover 4. People will typically go to cover 4 as a good way of stopping the counter and runs in general because the safeties play down on the run. Case in point, I'm going to run inside zone split real quick and watch how the safeties both immediately take their first step forward. And they're able to, there you see it right there. Earl Thomas makes the play right at the line of scrimmage. That's on a regular run, such as a power, dive, inside zone, even counter, different runs like that. However, with the draws, watch how the safeties drift back, and you're able to pick your hole up the middle and pick up about 10, 12 yards. The draw in general is just going to be a great option for you. Look at how those compressed the compressed wide receivers are able to get to the second level and block those linebackers for you. You can see right there. That's a good example. So you can use the draw as a short yardage or a long yardage run because of how patient you're able to be. Notice here how we're able to kind of scoot to the outside and pick up, 5-6 yards. Draws are the wave right now. So make sure that you guys are running the counter. And once they hit that cover 4 on you, you go to the draw. So that's going to be your main run game from this pistol tight slots. Now let's start to talk about the effectiveness of some of these pass plays. So we talked about bench and bench switch. I don't want to say I was the first person running the bench and bench switch, but I did put that tip out early in the year, and I noticed that a lot more people are starting to run this concept right now. Basically, you're just going to look to abuse these out routes. They're just there. I mean, it's a free 6, 7, 8, 9 yards unless they play a hard flat. You're going to be able to hit them to either side. I mean, take a look right here. Against man coverage, even Jason Witten, he drops the ball, but he was open. You don't have to have high route running to get these routes open. Again, right here, Jason Witten. That's about 12 yards. These out routes just are easy to abuse. And then, sometimes you're going to be able to hit the corner routes once they start playing down in a hard flat. So I won't show you how to throw corners. Obviously, corners have been one of the best routes in the game for years. But again, man coverage, can't press those short out routes, and unless they're playing a hard flat, the out route's going to be wide open. So that's what's great about bench and bench switch. You're going to be able to hit those routes all game long. And the nice thing about this is just kind of looking at the play art, you have bench in which the inside receivers run the post and the outside receivers run the outs. So if you find somebody manning up the out routes with the outside corner to try to trick you, just switch the play from bench to bench switch, and again, you're going to be wide open. So again, notice the bench and then bench switch where the inside receivers run the out routes instead of the outside receivers. So bench and bench switch are great. Now let's talk about PA post shot. Now this is a play that honestly you're going to be able to, let's start off with cover 3. Everyone knows about cover 3. Back this up here. And you can put it on a hash. It's up to you. The nice thing is this formation is symmetrical, but there is a tell if you flip it. So keep that in mind. You're not always going to be able to, your opponent can pick up on the tendencies. The nice thing is not a lot of players are going to be running this pistol tight slots. So, most people are going to see it for the first time and not know what to do. So what I like to do out of this is I kind of like to do an old school, I like to do an old trick that I used to run, which is the play action quick flats. Now, there are hard flats this year, so they can defend this. But what you're going to notice is off the play fake, it holds the linebackers in the box, and you can throw a bullet pass and rat catch it to your tight end on the flat. So you can see right there, boom, you're able to rat catch it. And we didn't get a great animation to turn up field right there, probably due to Jason Witten's agility. But, there's yardage to be had there. Another thing you can do is a kind of a skinny post. It's like a skinny post streak comeback route combo. So what I'll do is I'll motion out this receiver. I'll place Bryant or Beasley on a streak. You could do either because both of them are on a post, and then you can either block Witten or put him on an in route, an out route. It truthfully doesn't matter. You can put him on a curl in the middle of the field. And then maybe put Elliott on a delay route. And what this is going to do is it's going to just give you the ability to roll out, hopefully, and bomb to X, kind of like so, because the deep third is going to play the comeback route. And then you've got a situation in which the streak and the skinny post, the free safety can't cover both. The other thing about this play that's nice is you can kind of create some flooding concepts in which you maybe would put Beasley on the flat. You have him as a quick flat option off of a blitz. Again, there it is right there. You throw it out there and pick up 7, 8, 9 yards because the flat, the outside linebacker, is held in the box. If they aren't held, you're going to be able to look for the crossing route to B as he crosses underneath. The flats are held by Cole Beasley's route, and you're able to throw the little deep crossing route to Williams. You can run this to either side. You could go ahead and streak Witten, and he will be on kind of a little, he's got kind of like a little tail on his streak, but you'll be able to kind of create whatever route combination you want. Players are going to struggle to defend this here. You could do something like this where you have Beasley on the deep cross, Williams on a short cross on the slant, and then kind of the mesh going back to the other side with Bryant on the deep cross. This would be a great way to beat man, but also an ability to beat zone as well because you have the guy occupying the flat, which opens up the slant crossing over the top of it. This play in general is just so unique with a lot of great crossing routes that are very tough to defend. Another thing I like to do is this. I'll motion over this crossing route to create kind of a corner route. So you have street corner flat, and then you can block Elliott. And again, you're just going to look for your corner route. Now you would want somebody at that position. Richard Sherman reacted well to that, but say that was actually Bryant at that position, he would have triggered a spec catch in front of Sherman for a grab because he had actually good spacing there on this route. He would have actually jumped up and plucked that out of the air instead of letting Sherman cut underneath of him. So that was just actually us just having Beasley at that position. That's still a great throw. I'll go ahead and just do another example right here. We'll go ahead and put Williams on the streak, Witten on the flat, and we'll motion Bryant over. His is a lot deeper, but you can smart route it, so keep that in mind. And then, again, you've got the backside cross here. You got a nice little flooding concept with the deep option to Beasley. There's a lot of options with this play. Just kind of mess around with it, mess around with all these setups that I'm kind of showing you, and let me know what you guys like the best. You always have the option to do something like this as well. You get kind of a flooding concept out of the trips going back. This is kind of verticals like. And then, you're going to throw the deep post. You would throw that earlier before he crosses the face of the strong safety because of that they're in that tender spot in the middle. Another route combination you can create is kind of the halfback wheel. This looks pretty similar to what you would see out of tight slots from under center. The only difference is you don't really have you could put B on the smart in route, and then you don't really have a corner, but this is pretty much the exact same route combination where you would have the ability to throw the ball to Bryant against cover 2 or cover 3, which that's always going to be a nice thing. So this play is one of the best passing plays in the game. Unfortunately, it was just kind of hidden in a formation in a playbook that nobody really knew existed, or maybe nobody really cared existed because it wasn't available in MUT. So if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you guys are enjoying this generic playbook series that I'm doing. This video was more of a longer video because I wanted to kind of break down. The entirety of this formation because I think this is a great formation and it's something that a lot of players might like in the game. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll stop rambling. I'll check you guys tomorrow.